So he is a Black Library special. He has already sold out, it seems. You might still be able to find him in stores, maybe some local game stores as well. Welcome back to David Rodgers Minis, and we have Ciaphas Cain himself and his bodyguard Jurgen. Now we're going to get these painted up to a very high standard in just 3 hours. So, challenge starts now. Now, to make things a little bit easier for us, we have primed these miniatures in the first place. So, as you can see, Ciaphas Cain is primed in black. And we have primed Jurgen in Death Guard green. This is the Warhammer spray primers. All it does is speeds up the process of basically building these layers on, especially for these challenges. We want to be as quick as is possible. So we're going to start off with Ciaphas Cain, and we're going to start off with his reds. Now, very simply put, we're just mixing a little bit of Mephiston red with Rhinox hide in approximately 50-50 ratios. The idea behind this is we're going to start off with a nice, rich, deep red. And we're not going to go from cool to warm like we would if we went with corn red, but we are going to be going from a deep, rich to a vibrant sort of a red. We want it to really pop and stand out, especially because most of this miniature is a cool black. We're on our road to monetization, which means we need you. That's right, Ciaphas Cain here, and we need your help. So please like and subscribe to the channel, and let us know down in the comments down below, what armies would you like to see painted up for this channel? So, thank you, and back to the video. So, whilst we're painting these reds, I do want to give a slight update actually. We have been working on our pledges. Currently, I've been working on my Horus Heresy army, so I have some of my 9th Legion now. We have the Spartan that's being currently worked on. We have some of our Dreadnoughts that are being worked on, as well as a finished Centurion and a finished Ancient as well. Part of the company command squad, or the Praetor command squad as they call it in there. Yeah, everything's going quite smoothly and quickly. I think the 1,000 point is a little bit conservative on my part, so we're actually going to update that to a whole 2,000 points. I'm enjoying painting colour reds, as you can tell as I'm painting the red of this cape here. The Ciaphas Cain miniature, by the way, is quite nicely posed. I've not read his books, however, you know, 25 years in the hobby, I know a lot of his stories. And it's quite interesting to see his character come out, and he is literally in propaganda stance. It's brilliant. I do believe I've got the first 3 books, and I have Vainglorious. Only just finished reading, it was Master of Rights by Rob Young. Probably one of my favourite endings to a book. Like, the book ends immediately after a battle. I think it's a brave decision to take as well. So, well done, Rob. Proud of you. We are making decent progress on his reds. Like I say, I don't think these miniatures are going to take too long. I think 2 hours is just a bit too shy, because I want to do these miniatures well. I want to do them justice. And to do so takes longer. So we're still waiting to see which base that they would say you should put it on, just for the sake of playing games with him. The article that he came out with does say use either. It doesn't matter, because he's a single miniature. But then when you look at the rules, he has an aura, a 6-inch aura. So realistically, base size could play a difference. What I have done is not glued him down. He has 2 long little prongs at the bottom of his feet, and obviously 2 holes in his associated base. They are long enough that he will sit in place. So the option is yours. I personally would like to build up the diorama. I think the diorama looks better, and again, this is the kind of miniature that you'll be playing with friends, so hopefully they're not as fussy. Okay, just a little bit of context as well as we carry on with this miniature. We're using 3 different reds. So we're using corn red for his chainsword. It's going to give us a little bit of that cooler look. I kind of want it to have a little bit of a step away from fabric. Again, we're sort of changing the way that these materials look. So they could all be similar reds, but the materials are different, and that changes the hues of them. So chainsword, nice cool corn red. We will go through into oranges to highlight it. It's going to punch it out a little bit more. We have, for his fabric, like I say, Mephiston red, but that is also mixed in with some Rhinox hide for his base. So that's going to be a warm red. So it's like a very you know, a very regal sort of a red. And then for his gloves, we're actually going in with Gal Vorbak red. So we're going for like a purplish hue. So that's going to be, again, purple's going to pinks. So we're kind of hitting different tones. It's going to separate them out quite nicely. Okay, for Jurgen, we're going to get him washed now, just so that we can get through his miniature later down the line without having to worry about him having to dry. Obviously primed in Death Guard green. We're going to go over that with Arrtx Earthshade, and the reason for that is looking at his miniature from here, it's kind of a dirty green. It's almost a little bit like Death Guard, apart from we're going to obviously have a cleaner finish overall. But yeah, the Arrtx Earthshade is just going to settle into all these little gaps. It's going to give us something to build up from. It's going to completely change the tone of this miniature. It feels like cheating, just the amount of difference that Arrtx is going to make. So we're just a bit over an hour and 5 minutes in. We have Jurgen's fatigues all washed, looking dirty and grubby and ready to build back up again. We have Cain's reds coming across really nicely. I think once the gold's done, it's going to look a lot better, because at the minute there's like a dark patch where that should be. So yeah, once that comes through, that's going to look special. His gloves are all done in Val Gorbak. We're going to do his boots and any levers, starting in Rhinox hide and building up from there. Again, I think if I'm right in saying, and please do correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but Cain is 300 years old, according to the lore. I mean, interesting for a non-genetically modified human. Whatever they've done to him has clearly worked. For his face, when we come to that as well, we are going to be basing it in Fulgrim Pink. And then we're going to go over that with Darko Flesh as well. And you'll find when doing that, you get this really dark tan skin look. You highlight over that with, I do believe it is Cadian Flesh Tone. You don't have to go too far with that. Kislev Flesh on top of that is like your final highlights. You don't want to go too bright. Gives you a nice natural tan flesh tone. I just want to make sure that Cain looks absolutely perfect, because he is sort of the main event of this. Yeah. Doing Yarick in an hour was stupid. Doing Cain in 3 hours feels a bit more realistic. In terms of actual time, though, we still don't have a great deal. So I'm going to get cracking, and we're going to be moving on to golds and stuff very shortly. He's going to be looking amazing. He really, really is. So see you shortly. Just trying to get Jurgen done. I've put a bit of matte varnish onto the red parts of Cain, as I don't want them to get messed up as we keep moving the model about and manipulating it. So whilst that sets, just quickly dry brushing some Death Guard green into Jurgen's fatigues. It's just going to give him a little bit more contrast and depth. We might do another one of this a bit more sparingly, just with Ironrack skin, and that's going to give us these highlights. Again, kind of pulling out all the techniques that you would do to cheat him across the line. I don't want him to look bad. In fact, I want him to look pretty good. So there you can see 2 layers of dry brushing onto Jurgen, and obviously with dry brushing you leave a bit of a texture on there as well. If you're doing it on fabric, I think it works really well. It does give you sort of like a little bit of a natural texture that you would find in fabrics anyway. I think with things like power armor, dry brushing can give you a very weird texture, so just be careful in terms of that. But certainly for fabrics, it comes out really, really nicely. I think his highlights have come out pretty well. We're going to hit his levers with snakebite leather, including his backpack. I think Sligo Brown will be a bit too dark. But snakebite, as we've seen painting orcs, leaves you a really nice finish. Again, with him, I'm just trying to go for speed and efficiency versus like the best finish, because I want to get on to the final, say, half an hour with Cain, and I want him to come out really, really well. So this snakebite leather painted on top of the diorama base, which has been painted in Death Guard green, is actually giving us sort of the perfect base to dry brush over with, so that we can essentially get a little bit of progress on here at the same time. Again, we are coming up to the final 40 minutes, which is not a great deal of time now, but we kind of want to get all these components now to start to tie in. So that is going to be done with whatever cheats we can do. Contrast paints are fantastic, literally made for things like this. We're going to get right into the rock faces. And we're going to touch up all the rocks a little bit later with a bit of Mechanicum Standard Grey, and then dry brush everything with Karak Stone. That's going to give us the look that we actually want for the final miniature. So, I will see you all shortly. Okay, so we now have Ciaphas Cain coming together really nicely. We have chosen Liberator Gold instead of Retributor Armour. And the reason for that is, it's a bit more of a silvery gold, which when we finally add in our Darko flesh, it should hopefully keep a bit of that brightness. We're on to the last 10 minutes now. We have actually got the gold filigree all done. We're now just going to move on to the faces super quickly. We don't have a great deal of time left, so it's just doing the best as we can with what we got now, even if it's not absolutely perfect. I think the sculpt itself is really nice. I've recently been going back over my miniatures as well from these painting challenges. So I've actually painted up quite a lot of the Armageddon miniatures that weren't fully completed. If you want to look at any of those, please check out our recent shorts. We have quite a lot of them with constant updates. Also, if you do subscribe to the channel, we will be unveiling a miniature showcase once we've completed all these miniatures to a point where I'm happy to show them off again. Challenge painted miniatures are not my highest standard. They're just quick and easy to get through. My highest standards are obviously when I've got time to paint these miniatures to their fullest potential. Next up, we're going to be painting onto the bases. Now, again, we don't have a great deal of time, so we need a shortcut to get that stone colour. And what we're actually looking for is Black Templar Contrast. Is going to give us that little blue hint that when we go over it with Karak Stone, is going to leave us with that perfect cold stone finish. Alright, so we are into the final couple of minutes now. We are just hitting everything up as quickly as we can. We've got contrasts on the faces. We'll just take a bit of Kislev for now, and then we can start to piece him all together. So just get his cheekbones raised up a little bit there, and that is time. So Ciaphas Cain and his bodyguard Jurgen, completed in 3 hours. Well, there's only one way to see how it looks. It's time now for the big reveal. So going into final thoughts then, he's a really, really cool miniature. I suppose in two ways, I'm really happy that I have him, obviously. I'm a little sad that he's limited edition, and certainly to the point that he's already sold out online. So if you watch this video and you really wanted this miniature, he went quite quickly. I think he has the highest count of books specifically written on him in the Warhammer universe. Feel free to correct me in the comments down below if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I think he has something like 13 books. He's really popular, and quite rightly. He's hilarious. I'm really looking forward to actually getting through to his books. I have a great pile that I've got to actually get through first. But yeah, freaking awesome miniature. It's been quite a challenge. I think this was a bigger challenge than I actually anticipated it. Yarrick in 1 hour, I did a reasonable job. I got some colour on it. This one in 3 hours for 2 miniatures, I think I've done quite a lot. Not as far as I thought I would get. Like, his face is nowhere near as good as I want it to be. His actual fabrics, like his great coat and stuff like that, I'm actually really, really pleased with. I think that looks amazing. I love the red that I did on the inside of that. The little bit of gold filigree looks good. It doesn't look great yet. I didn't have time to really apply on the contrast that I wanted to. We were too busy having to basically prioritise towards the end what actually gets done and what doesn't get done. And the gold filigree painted the way it is, which is just literally plain Liberator gold, I think looks okay. I think, yeah, in time we'll go over it and we'll make it look even better. Neaten up a few little bits, for sure. Yeah, really happy. He's an awesome miniature. Again, I'm going to go spend more time on him. I have my Legion to get back to, my Blood Angels. But yeah, this week I want to get his miniature done properly. We'll leave some shorts up, so if you want to see those, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you to everyone who is with us on this journey to make it to monetization, to reach 1,000 subscribers. And of course, a massive thank you to our Patreons. Like, you guys are the guys that are helping to fuel this channel. Thank you so much. Now, if you want to join our Patreon, the link is down below. In there, you'll also find that you get a free additional entry into our monthly giveaways as a big thank you for your support for this channel. Now, tell me down below, what would you like to see next on this channel? We do lots of painting challenges, we do news updates, all sorts. Leave it down below. What do you want to see? Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye for now.